Hi, my name is Amy Smith and I'm with Brubaker Sewing Center, and today I'd like to show you a very quick, easy way to make a quilt. I've developed this method. It's called Build As You Go Quilting, and it's simple, it's fast, and it's a great way for people to make quilts and put them together. We do a lot of our quilting blocks on the embroidery machine. These blocks were made entirely on the embroidery machine. We did this as a charity quilt. Our customers made the blocks, and we had to come up with a way to put them together. My quilting, what I do when I quilt, is I love using my quilts as a palette for my decorative stitches. So what I do is I make a lot of blocks using my decorative stitches, and I experiment, and I crazy quilt, and I piece, and I do all kinds of cool things. But in a traditional quilt as you go method, you have bulky seams and what they call hinges on the back side. And I wanted to come up with a method that was easier, faster, and the method would feel like a real quilt when I was finished. So here is the Build As You Go quilting technique in a nutshell. You make your blocks. I strip piece, for example, on this block, I cut out a piece of 8x8 quilt batting. I like warm and natural. And I pieced my pieces onto the block, and then I embellished them with my decorative stitches. On this block, we had more blocks from the Oodles of Doodles from our charity quilt. We have all of our blocks, and we needed to put them together. So what we do is we turn our blocks over to the back side, and we take this product, which is called heat press batting, together. This is an 1.5 inch wide tricot, fusible on one side, and you just lay that against the raw edges and fuse your blocks together. The product is also available in 3/4 inch, and this is also great for quilt as you go methods, build as you go quilting methods. So we're going to fuse all of our blocks together. Then we take a bias tape maker and we create our sashing, but you don't need to cut it on the bias. You take your sashing and you make your sashing and use that to cover up your raw edges on the front side. Bottom against the back, cover up the front with sashing. You can use ribbon, decorative tape, you can use whatever you want, but cover up your raw edges on the front. Now, before you stitch your sashing down, if you'd like, you can add your backing. So when you stitch your sashing down on your back, you quilt it all the way through to the back side. And when you're finished, this quilt is going to feel like a traditional quilt with no bulk, no hinges. It's going to be soft and pliable, and it's going to feel comfortable to cuddle up with and put on your bed. That is the Build As You Go quilting technique, the Build As You Go quilting method. And with that method, once you get the method mastered, you can do many, many, many creative things with it. I have written 2 books that explore this method in different projects. My first book is Build As You Go Machine Quilting, and it has the stitching shindig pattern. It also has the funky split rail and a crazy quilt pattern inside. The book has 3 patterns, and it goes through the entire method of Build As You Go quilting. My second book is called Build As You Go Machine Quilting All the Way Through. And this explores more advanced techniques for the Build As You Go method, including completing the back side with the front side and joining your blocks together. And it's also got a great border method, which I call Pimp My Borders. So these are the 2 books that are available that explore the Build As You Go techniques. And once you have it mastered, you're going to use this for a lot of different quilts and projects in your home.